Danny, we need to discuss your future.
What is there to discuss, Mom?
Making music is not a career, it is simply a hobby.
I do not see why I cannot make it a career.
Do not be foolish, you need to pick a noble career such as a lawyer, or a doctor, or an engineer.
But Mom, I don't want to spend my life in a societal job, I want to love what I do and have a passion for it.
I am a lawyer, your father is a doctor, 3 of your grandparents are doctors, and we are all relatively successful. Our family has always been this way. Your great-grandparents made your grandparents go to college and become doctors, and my parents did the same for me, and so did your father's parents. You must go to college and get a stable job in one of those fields for financial security. It's the way it's always been, and it's way it always should be.
Mom, your entire argument is based on the logical fallacy of traditional wisdom. You are saying that just because everyone in our family went to college and became a lawyer or a doctor, that I should as well, because that is how this family has always done things.
Yes, you are right, it is traditional wisdom. Where did you learn about logical fallacies?
In English class.
We should have had you homeschooled. However, it does not change the fact that music is not a good career choice.
Mom, you and Dad are always stressed out about your work. Does it make sense to spend over a third of your life doing something you don't absolutely love?
I suppose that is a fair argument. We will continue this discussion when your father gets home. Maya, are you supporting Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton in the upcoming election? I'm not supporting either of them. Why not? Well, Hillary Clinton is not very trustworthy and has a lot of skeletons in her closet. Well, what is wrong with Donald Trump? Ha 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 ha, is that a serious question? Yes, it is. Oh, well, he is racist, sexist, rather insane, just to name a few reasons. Well, you are going to have to decide whether you are supporting either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. That is not true, you just committed the logical fallacy of false dogma, also known as the either-or fallacy. You limit the choices to avoid the consideration of other options. Well, there are no other viable options. That is also not true. I support Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders will not get anything done. We need someone radical like Donald Trump who will make major changes. If Trump becomes president, I'm moving to Canada. You should listen to some of Bernie's speeches, and you too will begin to feel the burn. I don't know, I guess it can't hurt to look into him. Feel the burn.
Hey Dylan, do you want to have a catch? Rohan, are you insane? I am taking the SAT in a month, I have to study. Dylan, the test is a month away, it is not going to kill you if you take a 20-minute break. I have to spend every free minute studying or I will not get a good score. If I do not get a good score on this test, I will not get into college. If I do not get into college, I will not get a good job. If I do not get a job, I will not be able to get a nicer car than the piece of crap I currently own, and even worse, if I don't get a job, I will not be able to afford a place to stay. I will be forced to live in the aforementioned crappy car, until it is repossessed and I end up living in a box. And it won't even be a nice spacious Christmas tree box, it is going to be a crappy box. Rohan, now do you see why I cannot spare 20 minutes to play catch with you? Well Dylan, I have 2 things to say to that. First, what a nerd. And second, that entire rant is the slippery slope fallacy, which basically means that you think that one event, in this case a test, will lead to a terrible series of events ending in a horrible way, in this case you ending up living in a crappy box. You will do fine. I am not saying don't study, I am simply saying do it in moderation and don't drive yourself crazy. It is important to enjoy your childhood, and as Michelle Obama says, you should play outside for 60 minutes a day. I am just saying 20. I suppose you are right, Rohan. I'm always right, you dumb beep. Why did you just censor yourself? Because the creator of this project has to keep it PG. Thank you for the opportunity to interview you, Secretary Clinton.
Of course, it is my pleasure.
Donald Trump has said on numerous occasions that if elected, he will build a wall to stop illegal immigrants from crossing the border from Mexico into the United States. What is your reaction to Donald Trump's plan to stop illegal immigration?
I have no reaction to that. Donald Trump is an egotistical, arrogant, crazy man, and on top of that he is a businessman with absolutely no political experience. If he is our next president, he is going to drive this country into the ground.
Secretary Clinton, while I agree with your views of Mr. Trump, you just used the logical fallacy, ad hominem, which means you attack the person and not the issue at hand. My question to you was about Mr. Trump's plan to stop illegal immigration, and not about his character.
I suppose I did just use the logical fallacy, ad hominem. As for your question, I feel that Donald Trump's idea of building a wall is simply not practical. The Mexicans are not going to pay for it like he says, and even if America builds it, it will cost too much.
Thank you for answering that question. To conclude our interview, I have one more question.
And what might that be?
Do you feel the burn?
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
Zach Morris, do you know why you are in my office yet again? Seems like a stupid question, Mr. Belding. After all, you are the one that called me down here. I will give you a hint, Mr. Morris, it may have something to do with you pantsing me at the Honor Society induction. Ha 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 ha, I mean, Mr. Belding, are those new glasses? I don't see how that is relevant. I love your bow tie, Mr. Belding, it makes you look very with the times. Zach, I see what you are trying to do. Has this room always been this color? Mr. Morris, enough of this nonsense, you are trying to use the logical fallacy red herring. Red hair what? Red herring, it means you are trying to distract me from the original issue by making these random remarks. I just figured since you were old it would be easy to get you to forget. I didn't know it had a name. Old. I mean, are those new glasses? I was only going to make it 2 weeks of after-school detention, but I think you just earned yourself another week. 3 weeks? Doesn't that seem a little harsh, Mr. Belding? Shall we make it 4 weeks? No, 3 weeks sounds great, I'll see myself out.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night when you need me.